Now we're looking at the guided practice for isosceles and equilateral triangles. First one, we're looking for the measure of angle ECD, and we have an isosceles triangle on the bottom, and we have a base angle. Since this is a base angle, we know that the other base angle is the same. It's also 31 degrees, and we can look for the missing angle in that triangle. So x plus 31 equals 180. Combine our like terms, so we have x plus 62 equals 180. Subtract 62 from both sides, and x equals 118. So that's the measure of angle ACB. It's not the angle we're looking for. We're looking for angle ECD. What can you tell me about angle ECD compared to angle ACB? What kind of angle pair are they? They are vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. So that means that angle ECD is also 118 degrees. Number 2, we have, again, an isosceles triangle. And we have information about angles, and these are the base angles. And we know that base angles are congruent, so we can set these equal to each other. 5t minus 13 equals 3t plus 3. Subtract 3t from both sides. Gives us 2t minus 13 equals 3. Add 13 to both sides. 2t equals 16. Divide by 2 on both sides. That gives us t equals 8. But we weren't just looking for t, we're looking for the measure of angle x. And angle x was 5t minus 13. And we need to substitute in for t. So 5 times 8 minus 13. So 5 times 8 is 40, minus 13 is 27. So angle x is 27 degrees. Our next problem, we have an equilateral triangle. And we're given information about an angle. As we know, we have an angle because this is a degree. And we know that angles in an equilateral triangle each equal 60 degrees. So z over 2 plus 14 equals 60. We're subtracting 14 from both sides. That gives us z over 2 equals 246. And then we're going to multiply by 2. So z equals 92. Our next problem, we have 2 isosceles triangles. There's one on the left, and there is one on the right. These are both isosceles triangles. And we're given information about angles because there's degree symbols. And this is a base angle, which means that the other base angle is congruent. This is also a base angle, which means the other base angle is congruent. Now we can find our missing angle in the right triangle by subtracting 52 from 180, because that is a linear pair. They're supplementary. And we get 128 degrees. Then we can set up and solve for x. So add everything in that triangle. X plus 128 equals 180. Combine our like terms. 2x plus 128 equals 180. Subtract 128 from both sides. Gives us 2x equals 52. Then we can divide by 2. And x equals 26. Our next one, we have two triangles, and both of these triangles are isosceles triangles. And we have a degree sign, so we are dealing with angles. And this is our vertex angle. So we need to find our base angles. Remember, our base angles are congruent. So we'd have x plus 94 equals 180. Combine our like terms. That gives us 2x plus 94 equals 180. Subtract 94 from both sides. That gives us 2x equals 86. Divide by 2 on both sides, and x equals 43. So each of these angles equals 43 degrees. So we know angle ACB is 43 degrees. What do we know about angle DCE, this angle here? It is also 43 degrees because we have vertical angles. Then we can do the same thing we did on the other triangle and set up to find missing angles. So we have y plus 43 equals 180. Combine our like terms. 2y plus 43 equals 180. Subtract 43 from both sides. 2y equals 137. Divide by 2 on both sides. And y equals 137 over 2, or or 68.5. You know I prefer fractions, so I would leave it as 137 over 2. And our last problem, again, we have two triangles, and they're both, again, isosceles triangles. And we still have angle measures that we're dealing with. And on our left triangle, we are given the vertex angle. On our right triangle, we are given the base angle. So we also know the other base angle is congruent, so this other angle is also 3y minus 5 degrees. Now let's find the missing angles in the left-hand triangle. So we have x plus 40 equals 180. Combine our like terms, 2x plus 40 equals 180. Subtract 40 from both sides. That gives us 2x equals 140. Divide by 2 on both sides, so x equals 70. That means that each of these angles is 70 degrees. And because this base angle is congruent to the vertex angle, it's also 70 degrees. Now we can find out what y is by adding everything together. So we have 3y minus 5 plus 3y minus 5 plus 70 equals 180. Combine our like terms, so we have 6y plus 60 equals 180. Subtract 60 from both sides. That gives us 6y equals 120. Divide by 6 on both sides, so y equals 20.